The essential question that we've been discussing is how can we create an effective class model that supports 2 and even 3 learning cohorts? One idea is to begin class with both cohorts together. The remote learning cohort would sign into a Zoom meeting at the beginning of class where either the teacher or a learning facilitator would take attendance. The teacher would then project the first activity of the day, a warm-up activity of some kind, on the whiteboard so the students in the classroom would be able to see that activity, but the screen would also be shared with our Zoom students so that they could participate in the same warm-up activity. Next, the teacher could then introduce the lesson for the day or an activity that they may be working on and explain any expectations for that work. And both the students in class and the Zoom students would be able to see this activity simultaneously. After that lesson has been completed, then the teacher would send the students off to complete those activities for the day. They would complete them in a variety of ways, either independently or collaborating with their peers. While students are working, the learning facilitator and teacher will have an opportunity to support students in the classroom and online learning as well. When the lesson is complete, everyone will come back together for the last 10 or 15 minutes for a wrap-up or a final discussion. We've been very fortunate to have the first 2 weeks of school to learn so many great technology tools. And those tools that we've learned have helped us to create some really exciting and engaging activities and lessons.
One way I envision hybrid in my classroom is incorporating a passion project modeled after Genius Hour. This is a project where we provide the guidance and the pushes, but the students are the ones doing the learning and doing the making, doing the creating. They go into depth on a topic that inspires them, and they chase their curiosity. It's a great way to incorporate the love of learning. It's differentiated because they're working at their own level. It's student-centered, and it designs meaningful work. After they research, they're creating something with the guidance of the teacher. They could be checking in with us during the school day. And they could also be working on a project with someone who's also in class, touching base through Zoom.
And one way that I envision hybrid learning to look would be through the use of learning paths, using It's Learning, or even you could modify it for Google Classroom also. I would do a warm-up of some sort where they would come together in the beginning to do some sort of short activity where they could get some face-to-face time and get introduced to the topic of the day. At that point, if the students were in class, we would be participating in a hands-on activity of some sort with the idea of getting them offline. And then the students who were remote would participate in this learning path. They allow for self-paced learning where I put in a linear group of activities. So some of them are online, some of them are offline. My goal is always to get them off screen as much as I can since they are spending so much time on screen. And then I would envision that all the students would come together at the end of class for a final kind of check-in, exit ticket, some sort of face-to-face moment again at the end. And while class is happening, those remote students would certainly be able to and allowed to ask questions and even check in as much as needed. It allows me to also add in some personalization because I can tailor it a bit to each student if I need to or I want to. I can add extension activities, and also, of course, I can add support tools as well.
During hybrid learning, I plan to continue to use the basic format of my current classes, making a few changes. I hope to make an audio recording of myself that could be posted for reference. For class time devoted to students working either independently or with others, I plan to partner in class with at-home students. This allows the class to stay together and continue to build relationships, while I can offer support to the whole class during the same time. Each class will end with 10 minutes of independent silent reading. This presents students with another chance to work off the computer and pursue something that brings them happiness.